You ever think about the fact that your child might have gotten unalived? Yo, what's happening? This is Late Night CJ, and we back at it once again. On Friday night at Independence High School, a school that my youngest son attends, they had a situation that went down. And for those that need context, fortunately, cue the clip.
Was supposed to be the kickoff to the Friday Night Lights at Independence High School, but what was supposed to be a night of school spirit and camaraderie quickly turned into a night of terror. Panicked crowds, students, and parents ran for cover as multiple shots rang out tonight. According to witnesses, at least 7 gunshots rang through the stadium. Here's a look at that chilling scene, and we warn you that these videos might be disturbing to some viewers. Here is the latest on the ground from our reporter team who rushed from games across Kern County, still in scoreboard t-shirts. Just after 8 p.m., shots were fired during the football game, triggering that mass panic and a chaotic evacuation, with chaos consuming the large stadium. Again, a 17-year-old victim was transported to Kern Medical, where he was pronounced dead. Preliminary investigations indicate the incident began as a fight between a group of individuals and resulted in the shooting.
Now, like I said, my son goes to this school, and he's gone to football games in the past years. He's gone to basketball games, volleyball games, all kind of student activities, and never once did it come across my mind that something like this could happen at his school. I mean, I grew up in an era where they had metal detectors, and the likelihood of something like that happening was there, but then you work so hard to put your kids in good schools. That is not a school in the hood. You put your kids in good schools, and then something like this cracks off. I can't even totally be mad at the kids in this situation. I know y'all probably like, man, what you mean by you can't be mad at these kids out here misguided and undecided? And you absolutely right, but how did they get there? You know what, let's just go ahead and turn this up. How did they get there? You know, we got some marks for parents nowadays, especially fathers. Yes, I said it, especially fathers. When you look at this picture right here. What is that? 5-on-1? And the dude is little. Where are the principles? Where are the morals? Where are the ethics that fathers hand their sons? I remember in the movie Friday, when Craig's daddy was talking to him about squabbling up. For y'all that need a reminder, cue that clip.
So quick to pick up a gun. You're scared to take an ass whipping. This what makes you a man. When I was growing up, this was all the protection we needed. You win some, you lose some. But you live to fight another day. And you think you're a man with that gun in your hand, don't you?
I'm a man without it.
Put the gun down. Come on, put up your dukes. Now you're a man.
The reason why I'm getting on parents in this situation is, where are the active parents in the world? How do you have kids walking around possibly being bullied or being the bullies? How do you have kids walking around strapped up in case they go to a function? Where they do that at? We are so absent. My generation, we gotta take the blame for this one. We have been so absent with these kids that they just out here just wilding because nobody gets on them. You sit there and you look at your kid, he's on the couch with his phone scrolling. In your head, it's cool. He's right there. I can see him. He's in the house. But you don't know what he's looking at on that phone. He might be getting all kind of bullying text messages. He might be sending them bullying text messages. He might be plotting with his homeboys to pack out a little youngster, and that little youngster might be the one that say, I've had enough. Or that little youngster might be a little terrorizer talking about, when I see you, it's up. But where are the parents? Let me tell you something. There is no real privacy in my house. When you in the bathroom, cool. When you changing clothes, cool. But I bust in like, hey, what's up? What you doing? What's that? What you reading? What's that? Let me see that phone. What's up? What's this? You got your phone locked? What's wrong with you, homie? You better unlock this. Let me see what's going on. Who your friends? Where you going? Who you talking to? Oh yeah, you finna leave? You wanna go? Who picking y'all up? What time we dropping you off? Hey, when I go to my son's little functions and it be all his friends, what's up? I'm Mr. This, I'm Mr. That. What's going on? Hey, what's up with you? Yeah, all right, young fella. Yeah, I make sure that they know who they dealing with. He belong to me, and if you do something something to him, you got to deal with me. But I'm going to make sure that this is a young gentleman. I'm going to make sure that he operates by a code of standards and ethics. And he knows that, conflict resolution helps you live another day. These kids out here is so quick to pick up pistols and pack people out that you end up with situations like this. How, as a parent who is trying his hardest, how do I avoid these knuckleheads out here that have raised smaller knuckleheads that are out here putting us in positions where you try to get them out the hood, you try to put them in schools, and they end up in a situation, it's like I can't fight these battles on my own. As parents, we have to step up and be like, no more. Get active in your kids' life. Find out what they own. Roll up on them. Hey, homie, what is you own? How is your child walking around with a pistol? Why are they putting themselves in environments where they need a pistol? I tell my kids, I've told all 3 of my boys since they was little, your job at school is to get the information and keep it moving. You ain't supposed to be on nothing else. If you happen to make a friend while you there, that's cool. If not, so what? Your number 1 job is to get the information and keep it pushing. I've told them also, when I let them out of the car since kindergarten, have a good day. Listen to your teachers. Don't get in no trouble. And if you need anything, that's a call and response. You know what they tell me? Call you first. That's right. The principal at the school know who I am. The dean know who I am. The security guards know who I am. On parent-teacher night, I introduced them myself and I gave them my own personal information. I am not trying to send out no potential thug in this world. I am sending out a young man who's been operating under the code of grown man business. Folks out here, get your kids. They can't even go to a regular school function without getting potentially smoked. Come on. But like I said, science has proven that the frontal lobe on youth doesn't fully develop until they're like 25. So that means that they are under our psychological as well as physical care till they get to a point to where they know how to maneuver and function. If you are okay just having your kids sitting there and you are not investigating their lives, you are doing them a disservice, because they get out in this world and what seems logical at 15 and 17 will seem illogical when they're sitting in a cell when they're 60. This is Late Night CJ. Like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend, and don't be afraid to not be your kid's friend. 100.